comes the news with a twist and a grin. Stephen Allen diving in again.
Britain is in the grip of a vomiting epidemic.
He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Stephen Allen, almost daily. Laughs and facts, served out plainly. Yet those who win, it's never shady. Stephen Allen, almost daily.
Hello and welcome to Stephen Allen, Almost Daily. I'm Stephen Allen. It's a day. What more do you want? Welcome along. Should we address that? Look, I don't. At some point, I guess I will get rid of the beard. I don't know why. We previously on the shows we've worked out that I think when a man grows facial hair for no good reason, there's just a mental breakdown happening. And I think we've reached this. I think it's enough of a cry for help, isn't it? I spotted that myself today. So we'll have a look at that at some point. Don't you worry. Meanwhile, let's get stuck into the news shortly. If you're watching this on the YouTube live stream, you got the chats. Get involved in the chat, the chitty chit chats up here, where you can see what's happening. So look, Proper Memes is here first, of course, and also the person who made the thumbnail, we'll cover that in a sec. Joodles is here, saying, damn it, great, lovely language. Straight out the traps. Hi-ho Kermit says, I'm not going to be able to hear this. I'm in a cafe and not brought my earphones, and I'm white. Well, you can't play it out your little speaker then, can you? Fair enough. Good point. Well made. Even my collar's just showing. I'm an absolute... I do apologise. Wrong way. Hang on. That better? No? Afternoon all, says Martin, who's watching the blood moon happen right now. Is that a euphemism for a ladies thing? Anyway, more on that later. Blood moon over Iran. He's writing a song over there, so Proper Memes. Who else got here? Mr. Cuffy's. Hello, everyone. Hello. Ems, break for lunch. I got Ems' message saying that you're in some sort of a meeting, weren't you? Have you managed to get this live streamed in the lunch break in the meeting? If you've got I don't know how many people are in your meetings at work, because you're in prison, so I guess, what is it, talking therapy? You've probably just doubled my audience. Damn. That's me doing the bad language now as well. Proper Memes, you do look tired, Steve. I do, don't I? I do. Have I mentioned that in song form, that having two kids, young kids, might make me a little bit tired? Energy drink of the day. It's a day. What more do you want? Exactly, Martin. That's the new catchphrase. I think we're going to make that on the mugs when we get around to doing the mugs. Hey, I have a beard, says Martin. Well, you probably also have some sort of a mental breakdown happening. I think I'm onto something. I'm sitting in a deck chair in the garden enjoying the sun and this show. And you have a beard. So you're sitting in the garden in a deck chair in your own garden, pretending you're on holiday in your own garden, and you think I'm wrong for implying some sort of mental instability? Okay. If you need talking therapy, there is a prison up north that Ems is in. We'll send you up there. She's in cell block H, I guess, so you can't go in the ladies. Oh, so you can't go in the ladies? Of course you can, these days. The world's gone mad, isn't it? Right, there you go. There's enough of the chat already covered. Before we get into the front pages, which I have not really looked at today, because it's just a solid guess, isn't it? Now, I know Proper Memes normally makes all of the jingles, but I had a crack at doing this one. War Watch. War Watch. Anyone heard about this war thing that's going on? Since last time we spoke, a war's broken out. Sweet mercy. Did you see that Proper Memes? This is the thumbnail that is... I like this, Proper Memes, because what you've done there is you've made me look like a stand-up comedian, which is rare these days. It's got that whiff of... If I were to be that kind of stand-up comedian, I think I'd do jokes like this.
Not saying my mother-in-law is fat, but we have to hire a bigger van to throw her in the back of. I'm here all week.
Too soon? I don't know. Even the picture just made Joodle say, that's a bit dark. I mean, do you mean thematically, or have I actually... Oh, I'm not very good at starting the color. It's the gamma, isn't it? I need to up the gamma. There are 23 people in here. What in the viewing? I wish I'd have shaved. Rubes is here as well. Proper Memes. Energy drink of the day is a Despresso. Yeah, flipping is these days. War Watch is pronounced Warwich. Isn't nothing wrong with having a bit of mental instability. I think it leads to better jokes. I like it. Prison would be more entertaining than all this corporate brainwashing guff I'm currently enduring, says Ems. Don't let them get to you. No, you're working for the man. That's the problem. So, right, front pages. Let's see what's happening in the crazy world of front pages. War Watch. Because it's just going to be war stuff, isn't it? Here we go. Here we are. Oh, that's Martin's little bluesky dooski. We'll do that in a bit. The Daily Mail. US lambasts hand-rigging, pearl-clutching Starmer as Kemi says he's scared of his own voters. Even I got lost halfway through that headline. Christ on it. But there are some newspapers that make shorter stories than that headline. So our Starmer has not necessarily been on what I think is going to turn out to be the right side of history. Come on, but do you know what I mean? I thought it was really easy to work out who the bad guys and the good guys are. We've covered this kind of thing before on the show. There are some stories where you think you grow up knowing the goodies and the baddies, and then you get into 2026 and things are just a bit fuzzy. Growing up, if you said it to any of us in the 90s, good idea to marry your cousin, or is that the kind of thing that you'll be mocked for in the future? You're like, I know this one. I'll bet the house on this one. Marrying cousins, we laugh at that, don't we? Because cousin marriage. Anyway, 2026. What? You're not allowed to ban it because of the religion? Next thing you know, imagine there's a country that has some kind of an oppressive regime that likes throwing women in the back of vans because they ain't dressed properly, which imagine the number of vans you'd need up in Middlesbrough. But anyway, that's a side point, isn't it, Ems? The point is, imagine that you growing up, you go, well, they're the baddies, aren't they? No, I think I get this. I know religion has had a bit of a problem with women in general, not just that, all religions kind of has a problem with women. If you go through all the religions, they kind of oppress women at some stage. Even Scientology, which is not even like an old school one. Like you invent this modern day religion, finally, one that won't be all against women. Tell us, what's one of your rules? Women aren't allowed painkillers during birth. What? Why? Well, they'll make a terrible racket. What's that other rule? They have to stay silent during birth. All right, keep talking to me. So look, religion doesn't like women. All religions have a problem with women, and at some point you ask yourself the question, what have women done that many people don't like them? But maybe that's not the right question. I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things. But if ever you get to a stage in the modern day world where women are being thrown in the back of vans and beaten up and killed for not wearing the right things, good, we worked out who are the baddies. Do you know what? If someone bombs them, we'll probably be okay with that. What's that, 2026? So, and I realize in America, Trump may not have followed the actual law of doing these things. Sounds like a them problem to me. So I thought I knew who'd be in the on the right side of history. In the comment section, we're working out how to pronounce Warwatch. Warwich. Hang on, no, that is a place. It's like Norwich, yeah. Warwich, just west of Warwich. No, well, just west and south of Norwich, I guess. I don't want to get all technical on you. There'd be Norwich, Southwich, Warwich, the other one. East Riding of Orwich. The Nork Watch. That's a good idea, actually, for a different feature. Keir Starmer is the Tim Waltz of Britain. There is a chance Keir Starmer is the thing that Tim Waltz tries to put in rooms. Can you clutch pearls whilst wringing your hands? Finally, the good question. It's hand wringing and it's pearl clutching. So the answer is yes, but you do have to clutch the pearls betwixt your bottom cleavage. Is that right? And I imagine by the time, if you're clutching something down there, they're not pearls, they're beads, aren't they? Okay, well, I'm glad we cleared that up. You'd have to afterwards. Try it, Martin. You're a lady now. Yeah, good point. Pearl jam, says Mr. Cuff. Oof. Like clutching a pearl necklace at a Bonnie Blue party. It's not like that, proper memes, is it? That's a different thing. What was the other joke I did the other day? It's one of the few jokes I thought should have made a clip. When Bonnie Blue says she needs protection, she actually just means public liability insurance. We'll note that one. That needs to be a clip. And you'd be I'm not even going to read that out. I thought you couldn't hear this, Kermit. How are you keeping up with the kind of filth? Oh, you're just in the comments, aren't you? That makes sense. The fact that people are tuning in for the commenters and not me. Yeah, no, it's my career. Great. Cheers. Right, that's that one done. Don't worry, there's an energy drink to get through as well. Very tired. How a lack of fibre is worse for you than too much sugar and fat. Now, I've not read the article, But I guess it's because you don't do a big poo. We know. It's not going to be more complicated than that, is it? Why do you need to have fibre to poo? Sometimes we act as if a lot of this stuff is a mystery. All of those adverts for women who've got bloating. Oh, what shall I do with the bloating? Let rip. I mean, no, we've known the answer for ages. Anyway, front page of the Mirror, Middle East in flames, chaos and fear. And looking at that emotional picture, we're all glad that Proper Memes didn't see that before we made today's thumbnail, aren't we? We just are. We just are. It's on the front page of the Star as well. It will all be over by Easter, says Donald Trump. Donald, if you're watching, and I know you're a big fan of the show, could you not have picked one of those holidays when people know when it actually is? Because pick a bank holiday, you probably know that, but Easter, no one knows that one. It moves, doesn't it? It's like flipping into a moving target. And I know you're good at hitting moving targets now, as you've found out, but don't pick. It'll all be over by the weekend after the full moon, after the Lent. What do you do? If I need a flip chart to work out when this is, people are at war, mate. They've got a bigger fish to fry than working out when the eggs are going to get delivered. And so, Maundy, Thursday, or Whitsun, or one of those. Do one of those. That's a better chance of working out where it is. Even Google Calendar's not got a clue. Proper meat. That's a good point, actually. I'm not sure if they all. So people in Iran might not celebrate Easter, so they don't know when it's going to be over, but we do. Ah, clever Trump. Gives a whole new meaning to Pearl Driver. But Proper Memes is really in on this one, isn't he? Kermit paused the video and just left the chat going. Yeah, no one. Thanks, Martin. I worked that out and I tried to not feel harmed by it. It's a combo of holding the phone up to my ear and typing the wrong typing in the wrong glasses. The sequel to that Wallace and Gromit thing. It's like pearl clutching and hand wringing. Well, that's you want to be careful with that. It's not your hand ringing. You've got your phone in your hand. Don't be fooled. Someone's on the phone. Answer the damn phone, Kermit. They're trying to get through. Kerms, I admire your effort. Middle Eastern have done that one. Careful you don't clutch your hands and ring your pearls. It'll all be over by Easter, said Jesus. Don't know it. Don't ruin the story for all. I suppose he might have known. Yep, fair enough. Nice coffee. Yep, good point. Well made. More front pages, probably, as we try and go through this. Trump is very disappointed in Keir Starmer over Iran help. Yeah, we've kind of covered this already, but it just seems shocking. You know that as Starmer being a human rights lawyer, thought one would be international law. But, hey, look, I like laws. I follow a lot of laws. My soon-to-be 4-year-old son, who's been learning at school about the police, asked me if I've ever been arrested. This could have been an awkward conversation, couldn't it? But I got to say to my son, no, I've never been arrested because I don't break the law. Nice. And he said, have you ever been caught speeding? And I said, just shut up. What is this? The flipping 20 questions? Shut. I've never been arrested. He's too young to understand what a speed awareness course is, isn't he? So I didn't raise that to him. But the point is, I stick to laws. I'm very good at sticking to laws. But even I realize international law is not actually a law, is it? It's a pretense. There is no international law because who can back up? Like, if I break a law in the UK, the police come and get me. Who are the international police? No one really. Kind of maybe Trump, which is a terrifying thought. Let's have a look. Trump sounds like Starmer's parent. Very disappointed. But can he make tools? That's the big thing we know about Starmer, isn't it? Let's have a look. The Easter is not a good reference because the protagonist raised from the dead, Trump didn't think it through. That's a good point. Again, don't tell me what happens at Easter. I've recorded it. You don't break the law. You don't live Middlesbrough. One day I will get sent to your prison, Ems, just to say hi. You don't live in Middlesbrough. I'm with you. Love on or live in. I think we've done. Surely we must have done the front pages by now. In action this day. Oh no, there is this story at the top there, isn't there? Spider-Man and wife. Spider-Man and wife. Spider-Man and wife. Mr. and Mrs. Spider-Man. Why Zendaya fell for Brit Tom? I don't know. They work together and they fancy each other. I think the bigger question is, he's going to get her to get stuff down from shelves. Because he's not really Spider-Man. Otherwise, he could just, So look, I'm not that stupid. he won't be able to climb either because he doesn't climb like Spider-Man. He will get her to get stuff down off shelves. Not that I'm saying he's going to need a lot of top shelf stuff. Look at his wife. But I think you see my point. He's shorter than his wife. If you were Spider-Man, I don't be too gross this early in the day. This feels like the kind of thought I should say for one of our late night editions. But, at the moment of, you know where I'm going with it. You'd be tempted to, and you just once, I'm tempted to now, I've had the thought. Right, let's have a look what's going on. New Spider-Woman. Do you reckon she's the Gwen? Because she didn't play Gwen in the thing. I've not watched it in ages. Who does she play? Does she play Gwen? I don't know. Well, if she does, then she'll end up being Ghost Spider. So actually, I take it all back. She can climb the shelves. They can both climb the shelves. Let's hope Zendaya is not arachnophobic. He's not a real spider. So don't worry about it. I think my whole point was he's not a real Spider-Man. He can't shoot webs, but he could pretend to. But that'd be gross, and she probably wouldn't like that. So I think we're thoroughly up to date. Let's do this bit.
Let's get inside the news.
Black Widow, says Jude. Hang on. Now you got me on it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Because Black Widow would be a great name for a Spider-Man character. A female Spider-Man character. But Black Widow's already a thing. Nothing to do with spiders. Just being Russian. Wasn't even married. So, you're not a spider, said Jason Statham. You are not a spider. Anyone watching for the first time, I have no idea what that's about, but that's okay. You don't really understand what a lot's of it about. Energy drink of the day jingle, please, says Joodles. Well,
Energy drink of the day. Keeps the yawns and the slumps away. Crack the can, hear it fizz and spray. Wake me up, take me away.
I'm sure it's not having a negative impact on me. I have my glasses here as well. So, right, let's get stuck into... There's absolutely tons of news to get through. Loads of it is absolute rubbish. I apologise for this. Let's start with... Well, I don't know why I apologise. I didn't write the news, did I? Here we go. GPs too shy to suggest fat jabs. Oversensitive GPs are failing to diagnose... Diagnose. Hey, that's a big word for having a look at whether you get stuck in the door on the way in, isn't it? It could hold up the planned fat jab rollout. Do you really? This feels like one of those things where you don't really need to be diagnosed as fat. You just are visibly or mass-based. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we need to run a series of tests. Stand on that thing that measures your weight. Done. Bish, bash, bosh. But I think it's not to do with being too shy. Last time I went for a medical, a couple of years ago now, and I know we've talked about this, this woman did the blood tests. And I had to go back for the thing. And the look on her face she was thoroughly shocked that they all came back like, mwah, on point, on fleek, as we used to say. Oh, my blood is the good stuff. Some Stevie black pudding would have you coming back for more. And the look on her face, she was disappointed because she looked at me, and I probably looked better than I do now, but she looked at me and was just like, oof, and then read out the numbers like, wow, you are superhuman. I was like, thank you very much. She said, but you are carrying a bit of weight, so maybe we get that down. Well, maybe I've scored brilliantly in all the other ones. Maybe just forget about that one. I've scored, and shut up about getting pulled over for speeding. I've never been arrested. Why do people keep going on about it? But she must have seen the disbelief in my face because, yes, I could do with losing some weight to get to my ideal BMI. But she was so fat, they needed to hire a bigger van to throw... I shouldn't think that guy's jokes. She was large. This is the thing. The GPs can only really say, you're carrying a bit of extra timber there, if they are not also jabber the shut your face. And that's what she was. So I didn't say that to her because I am polite, and also she was, a practicing nurse. Keep practicing, love. No, she was a practicing nurse, and I didn't want to insult her weight because she might have been like, oh, and there's one more test we have to do, cough and drop. Like, this is not you're making this up because I called you fat, aren't you? Let's have a look. Have a look. This is one of the few shows where you're watching the presenter drinking on the job. Yeah, it's true. A lot of the other shows, they drink before That's the way. Lumberjacks carry a bit of extra timber. Just logging on. Something like that. All right. Into this one. BBC has no clue on Doctor Who. It's such a waste. The story is that they can't find someone to play Doctor Who. The headline should just be Doctor Who? How is it not? Oh, I can't zoom in on this. Oh, it's a mess. BBC bosses are struggling to find a new Doctor Who star amid claims the role is poisoned after storylines alienated fans. They don't realise that's a good pun because he's an alien. Or she. The backlash has delayed plans for the new series following sex education star Shooty Cat's decision to leave the Time Lord role after 2 series. Well, I am willing and ready. You heard it here first. I'm putting myself forward. I think I would make a very good doctor. Thank you very much. And normally on this show, I guess, if you read my Substack, I'll point out when people are getting a bit oversensitive about, language. Don't say, ladies and gentlemen, come on, get over yourself. Right? I think I'm quite practical. I understand what a pronoun is as well. A lot of the people who go on about it, you don't even understand. What was the joke? Someone did a joke about the old Ayatollah, saying his pronouns were, was and were. Yeah, funny, but not pronouns. Yeah, verbs. But I tell you what, if the BBC offers me the job as being Doctor Who, I will woke it up the wazoo like you wouldn't believe. I will do whatever, yes. I will let you claim whichever gender you want to be. I will walk you to the toilets if I get to be back on the telly. We do that. I'd be a good doctor. I reckon I'd definitely. Speaking of which, oh, nuts. Here we are. If I don't get that job, I'm still available for Eurovision because one of the other people going for it is Boy George. And look at this. I don't know why he's talking like Arnold Schwarzenegger for some reason. I'll put chatbot to use. Get out. Yeah. Boy George said, get to the chopper. He didn't say that. He said, Boy George has revealed he is writing his new songs with AI. I mean, that's what I did for all the songs we've released. They're still not out on Spotify yet. They will be. Before, it was, I can't really do Eurovision. I do crappy AI songs. I can't compete with old Karma Chameleon over there. Can now. We're both the same. We are both AI musicians. We are both middle-aged bald men. We've both got in trouble for chaining a man to a radiator before. And I don't know what the problem is with that. I was just trying to warm him up. I don't know what he was up to. You're not a spider who've done that one. Oh, who's on first? That was, yeah. There is a Abbott and, no, yeah, it was Abbott and Costello. Yeah. There's something that, there's something there. There's something there. Yorkshire holidays hit Gen Z heights. Raunchy new movie Wuthering Heights has turned Yorkshire into a tourist hotspot for many Gen Z fans. It won't be like that when you get there, you idiot. Imagine watching Margot Robbie and whoever the bloke was in it I don't know, getting up to there and thinking, I'm going to go there. That's literally as dumb as visiting the diner in When Harry Met Sally and walking out going, I did not climax. Or maybe you did. Who am I? Abbott and Costello, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. That's dumb. Did you chain anyone to a radiator? I think I've already answered these issues. What? Beat me to it. That's what they said. I don't know. Martin says, if Who's Gone Woke, it's not the actor's fault. It's down to the writers. Who's Gone Woke? What's on second? No, hang on. By the way, you'd be a terrific doctor. Science Corner. That's true, actually. Be like an actual... Yeah. Because that was part of the problem with the last Doctor. There were episodes where, well, this beast is being... The one where he's in the barbershop, right? That one. Where it clearly could have been a different TARDIS. That would have been a lovely way to have... Because there's a couple of extra TARDI hanging out there, aren't there? There's some spare ones. There's the one that was turned into that weird diner back in the Peter Capaldi days. That could be floating around. You could chuck that one in. But instead of it being, oh, look, it was a disguised tie-dye, instead it was, oh, it's a mythical beast that feeds on stories. But, that'd be so dumb. What story is just a word to describe a concept? Cat's Diner. I wouldn't eat cats if that's the question here. Wuthering just means windy, by the way. Windy Heights. I mean, it might be a bit like that if you go on holiday. Depends which diner you go to. Right. Try and rattle through more of these. I've missed this one. This should have been done earlier on. Keamy Beadnock. Tories in jobs on merit call. Kemi. Public bodies will be forced to give jobs and promotions based on merit instead of favouring certain groups under Tory plans. Interesting, because I guess during this DEI culture, I have not been the beneficiary of this, have I? That I'm not going to be someone who represents diversity, and maybe in some ways that has prevented me from having the opportunities I could have had. However, to be fair, if we have a system based on being good at the job, I will also not benefit from that. So I feel like there must be a third option. If the two options are diverse or actually good, meritocratic, I'm still unemployed. Where's the old days where I could be in charge of an African nation just because I'm white? Is that not a thing? Can we look into that? Kemi? Kemi's not going to look into that, is she? Cat's Diner is where Harry and Sally scene was shot. Ah, I see. And that was a TARDIS. Have I confused the two plot lines here? Okay. And proper meme Sister Joodle's doing me best. Okay. The state of those glasses. Here we are. Dancing lessons for lags. Category A jail offers classes. Now, I mean, look, this could be a story. It's like, oh, you're teaching prisoners to dance. That's a bit funny. Line dancing, chain gang land. Yeah, there's some joke there about, I don't know, Blues Brothers. I don't know, there's some end of Blues Brothers. Keep it light. Or don't keep it light. Rapists, killers, and crooks. Which is very much the first draft of that Cher song. Serving life sentences are being given classes to help them heal through inner dance. But surely they're doing outer dance, aren't they? Lags, many of whom will never be deemed safe. Many of who will never be deemed safe enough to be freed. Are being offered sensory healing techniques. The Category A, same as an egg, lockup in Scotland has called in trauma counsellor and movement therapist this woman. But if it's inner dance, that's when you sit down and don't dance, isn't it? That's what I do at weddings. Am I good at inner dance? I could have been teaching these prisoners. Another opportunity to waste money. They misspelled legs. Yeah, that's a good point. Dirty Dancing, very dirty dancing. And Jailhouse Rock. Good point, well made. That's what I'm doing today. Are you doing inner dancing? You're dancing on the inside. I think if you're dancing on the inside but not on the outside, you're going to get some sort of organ trauma, aren't you? You know when you have a car crash, the reason that you're ill is because you're traveling at whatever momentum you've got, whatever velocity you and your organs traveling at the same time. The car stops, you stop, your organs thrown forwards. That's inner dancing. So maybe they do deserve that. Look, this right here is the kind of story I wanted. I don't want serious news about wars in Iran where I actually, like a bit of overthrowing of a theocracy. Of course I do. I don't want to talk about that. I want dumbass stories that are a bit silly. Ting! Barking is home to the fewest dogs per capita in the UK. Beautiful. Beautiful. Whereas if you live in Warwick, you're less likely to pay attention to what's going on in Iran. You're up to date. The East London district and surrounding area has just 0.5 pooches per 10 people. Telfords in Shropshire has been crowned Britain's Bow Wow capital. That's not, you mean like densest dog hotspot. What's a hotspot not? With 4.1 dogs per 10 folk. Now, do we need to look at per capita on this? Isn't that because Barking has a lot of people? Telford, Shropshire, fewer people. Maybe like same number of dogs. Also, it's the fact there's loads of people who live in Barking who don't like dogs. Maybe. I don't want to start getting into that. Mr. Cuff says, I was censored for obvious reasons. What have you been doing? I want to break free, says Proper Memes. Good for you. Actually bought Bluetooth earbuds. You bought them? Just for this? No, you could have watched it late. It's not worth it. If I'd realised you're actually putting effort in, I'd have written some jokes for today's show. Proper Memes, I once knew someone who taught their dog how to play the trombone on the tube. He went from barking to tooting in under an hour. You're not a salmon. That's dedication, Kerms. It is. It's too much. Dog/ging. Oh, did you get censored for talking about dogging again, Ems? Dogging spot is a very different thing. Maybe it is. It's up to you, isn't it? Whatever. On the A1, probably. Okay. No one's ready for this story, but let's do it. Body boil funerals. New boil-in-the-bag funerals that dissolve bodies are to be introduced to Britain. Great! The shroud-wrapped corpse goes into a pressure chamber with 150-degree water and chemicals. Advocates claim the approach, called hydrolysis, is better for the environment. It is. But I feel sorry for... It's bad enough having to take home ashes with you, but imagine just having like a big vat. That's not right, is it? It's allowed in Ireland, will be available in Scotland in the summer. Well, they just do it up there to keep warm, don't they? You know, previously I've always said, when I die, do whatever, I don't care. Bury me, cremate me, I don't care. Maybe don't boil me in the bag until I'm really tender. Don't make a soup out of me. That's the only wish. And I've said it here, this is my last will and testament. I don't want to be a broth. Is that too much to ask? It might be. Vanilla what? Up the A1. Final bath. Yeah, you don't want it. And Uncle Ben's. Don't start mixing rice in there as well. It will be allowed in Ireland. Jesus, nobody loves a funeral more than the Irish, says Joodles. Well, I suppose... The wake is well known for having a good, supply of food. You could eat the relative, drink the relative. You eat soup, don't you? You could eat the, yeah. I would say, if you are in Ireland, if you are gonna boil your relative, turn them into soup, and then digest them, don't have bread. Don't have little slices of bread to dip in, because if there's one thing that'll get you in trouble in Ireland, it's the soldiers. Just throw me in the trash, says Ems. You already live in Middlesbrough. Too much. Ashes to ashes, dust to vesta curry. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just not right, is it? Memorising axed in GCSE maths. Now we're talking. Teens taking maths and science GCSE will no longer have to memorise equations and formulas. Well, let's just give them away then. Let's just give people a GCSE. Oh, you turned up, did you? The one thing that separated, back in my day when I was at school, the one thing that separated out those who did the arts ones, the English and other useless A-levels, from those of us who did, I know this is GCSE, but still, from those of us who did the science A-levels, was the people who did science proved they had the ability to remember at least 3 things. Rather than, I read a book and here's how I felt about it. That's what your A-level literature is, isn't it? Kind of, here's what I felt. Whereas we actually had to learn PV equals nRT. Nothing wrong with learning that. Look, it's not that tricky, is it? I still know it today. And if I was walking down the street and someone said to me, you know, if you had an ideal gas, how would it react given that you know the number of the ideal gas equation, the number of moles of gas and the temperature? What would the product of the pressure and the volume be? I'm like, well, I'm glad you asked. The number of times people have stopped me in the street and said that is very low. But still, I would say that learn some flipping equations. But Einstein said, don't bother remembering phone numbers because they're all written down. And it's true that all the equations are written down, but you've got to at least know what they're doing. Otherwise, someone will say to you, look, here's some energy, here's the speed of light, what are you going to do with that? Well, I don't know. Because you don't know there are equations that link these damn things together. We are dumbing down. Science Corner. Yeah, you're darn right. Where's my Science Corner jingle?
Science Corner.
Welcome back. I just stop dissing on the science. It's the one thing you learn this stuff. Don't take it away from us. Don't let people who did English A level be able to pass a GCSE. A GCSE balanced science. GCSE sponsored by Silverstone, says Proper Memes. Where's the one we just had the kicking off here? Locanator 1 says Iran has the right to defend itself. I'm glad you mentioned that here. That's probably really going to change things for Iran. So you're in the right place. Martin and Jules can't wait Loki's jokes that we do here. No, I think this is the place to... Loki hasn't read the room. I don't know. I imagine popping up on a live stream, you will change hearts and minds by bringing up those comments here. Pedantic grammar jingle, formulae. Ooh. Equations, though. Yeah. And we're up to date with those. I don't know, though, because of modern usage. Formulas. Yeah. It's up to you, isn't it? All right, what else have we got going on here? Back to the desk. Wayne scores a piggy penalty. Yeah. Rue buys son pair of pet piglets. Well, I'm sure they are hungry. However, but Cole has to clear up mess. Wayne Rooney has brought 2 pet oinkers. What is wrong with these people? Why can't they just say pigs anymore? But it's wife Colleen who's been left to shovel up the pig poo. You didn't need to say that, did they? Because we know it's pig poo because it comes from pigs. Where's my pen? If you'd have called them pigs up here, and then it says wife is left to pick up the poo, you wouldn't have to say pig there. Only an idiot would think that you were talking about a different thing. He's bought some pigs and Colleen's shoving up Wayne's poo. If you think that, then good luck to you. You, Rooney, says Proper Meat, surely to goodness, it would be Wayne who scoops the poo. I would imagine if you have a relationship where were they married by this stage? But if you famously go off and sleep with granny pensioner prostitutes, you're kind of doing all the poop shoveling for the rest of that relationship, aren't you? Because that's what he's famous for, isn't it? He popped off and loved the old grabber granny. If your wife forgives you for that, a couple of things that are happening. You're never allowed to go near a care home ever again. And if ever you get pets, you're in charge of walking the thing and shoveling the poo. I can't believe she fell for it. Because it's not even like she's just with him for the money anymore. She's got her own money now. Why? What? Anyway. Good luck to him. That's a poor sign. Hashtag poor sign, says Martin. Thank you for spelling it. I reckon I could have got that. I'm waiting for the grannies. So, yeah, of course you are. So is he, I imagine. They ain't turning up on time, are they? Imagine you book one of those, but you're up a couple of flights of stairs. You're basically doing it on your own. That settles it. I'm having sausage for lunch. That's what she said. And you're up to date. Right, we don't have many stories left. How long have we been doing? 39 minutes. This mini sausage, that settles it. You're having a sausage. Sausage dog is Brit's fave pup. The mini sausage dog has been crowned Britain's most popular pup. Miniature Dachshund were the best-selling puppy in 2025. This is according to Pets for Homes, which is weird because they don't sell homes. They just sell pets. Where else are you going to buy a pet for? It's a dumb name. The classified site, classified as dumb in my book, which took data from thousands of listings, basically, They were followed by the Cocker Spaniel. They kept track of who's the most popular dog. It's revealed the demand for the handbag dog, such as the Chihuahua, the pugs, loved by stars including Sharon Osbourne, has plummeted. Well, yeah, because that's wrong. Having doing that to a dog is wrong. But I can't help thinking, a miniature Dachshund is too much, isn't it? Because the Dachshund's already small. To miniaturize a small dog is just cruel. These things are becoming swallowable. It's not right. Because there used to be wolves. And here's what humanity did. We are sick. We took these proud, majestic beasts that could hunt down the apex predator in their world, and we bred them until they are the miniature Dachshund and can't even jump up on the sofa. It's cruel. It's a cruel and unusual punishment. It's more cruel doing that to a dog than it is, yeah, sure, you raise a pig, you kill a pig, you eat a pig. Oh, yeah. Poor sign. But it's worse, isn't it? To breed an animal until it's an absolute laughingstock. I mean, for these humans, I'm not a fan. M says, damn it, I'm being summoned back to watch another load of corporate guff. We'll catch it when I get let out. Good luck to you. I knew you're in prison. Hi-ho Kermit, journal rules dictate it should be pigs in paragraph 1 and oinkers in paragraph 2. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck. Even in stories that aren't about pigs. Enjoy M's. Good luck M's. Thoughts and prayers. Cocker Spaniel. I hardly knew it. Dear. Right. The problem is, you don't need to know the details. The tash is getting to this. It's tickling me upper lip. What have we got left? What have we got left here? Chris Pack. Right, he's called Packham, but they really didn't lean into that. He's called Packham and he's talking about packs. Come on. I don't know what the pun would have been, but there's one right there. Chris Packham with warning signs. Yeah? Chris on meat. Packham. I've over-egged that pudding. Chris Packham wants cigarette-style health warnings on packs of supermarket meat. Because meat can be bad for you. If you have red meat, it is considered to be a carcinogen, just the way it is. The Springwatch legend is calling for an overhaul of food labelling so shoppers understand the appalling conditions. Oh, it's not about that, is it? Well, that's not the same, is it? There are no signs on the pack of cigarettes saying some of these tobacco leaves were raised on a farm. You got that wrong. Also, it's not the same. Eating red meat is not the same as smoking. There's like eating red meat, too much of it bad for you. Also, it's a source of food. You need that. Smoke, you don't need smoke, ever. And also, smoking is not like eating red meat because they have not banned eating red meat in restaurants. That'd be dumb, wouldn't it? Imagine going to a restaurant and you have to stand outside with all the rest of the other carnivores. Chris, pack it. No, still, Alan, I like your work there, but it's Packham you got to get in the thing, isn't it? But he says, hi Steve, how are you? This is more entertaining than BBC local radio. Not when I did it. I think the beard makes you look distinguished. No, I need to trim the sides, and I'm in an absolute state. It's been a tough few weeks. I never let mine get that long, PM. Talking about your length of your beard. Pack it in. No, I feel like we're getting further away. Stay there. I feel like we're getting further away. Oh, dear. There's a couple of stories worth. Andy Poo Home. I don't even know what's going on in this one. A huge pile of stinking manure has been dumped next to ordinary Andrew Windsor's new home. Fair enough. No notes. Good. Good place to keep it. We are basically done. Oh, back to the Wuthering. Back to Windy Heights. Women prefer a Hugh Grant-style romantic to a brooding Heathcliff. No one wants to... Nearly said the rude word. No one wants to... a cat. Females are snubbing bad boys, like Jacob Elordi's smouldering character in the new Wuthering Heights movie. Instead, a chivalrous Colin Firth. You try it. Chivalrous... No. I mean, beard's getting in the way. The ideal man. Yeah. Of course, I never understood this concept that women like brooding, strong but silent, all of these euphemisms for grumpy old git. Women do not like grumpy gits, as I have learnt to my chagrin. You're up to date. So, thank you very much for watching. Alternative headline, Chris Packham. No, it is. That is much better. He says not. Alan says not much better. It is much better. Chris Packham. Packham, yes. They don't come in tins. They come in small boats. I don't know what you're talking about, but that is the kind of joke we could have had the Ayatollah doing at the start of the show. I presume everyone's familiar with a great Heathcliff musical by and starring Cliff Richard. Check it out. I am not. No. Is it up there with R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet? The rap musical. And now you realise, what's one of the worst things about being trapped in the closet? No toilet, but not a problem if you're R. Kelly. Hugh Grant curb crawls Ladies of the Night. Okay. And yet still, women prefer him because he's polite about it. Kind of, good evening to you. Would you be amenable to... That's the way to approach one of these ladies, isn't it? Check for their amenability. Too soon, R. Kelly. Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, you're right. Hugh Grant or Huge Rant says proper memes, but I'm not sure why. I think we're fully up to date. Right, there's a couple more stories, but they're all absolute guff. We can, if you want to know what we're missing. Migrants free drive lesson. I don't know. Fair enough. Teach them to drive, especially if the driving instructors drop them off in Calais, because they wouldn't know, would they? Go, now we're going to go through this tunnel. And, it's not a bad idea. Dinner parties are at risk because people don't like... I never understood the idea of a dinner party anyway. Why meet up with people whilst talking? Whilst eating, so you can't talk. Like, well, let's catch up. What should we do? I don't know. Put food in our mouths so we can't talk. You idiots. Sherlock Holmes wannabes are set to solve murders naked. Super sleuths will try to crack, how dare you, crime, but there won't be a deer stalker. Basically, you can do one of those murder evenings in the nude. If it was done by Candlestick, you'll know where they've hidden it. And nude bars at risk of shutting. This is in related news. Strip club owners are urging partygoers to visit their bars. I bet they are, you dirty. They say scores of clubs and bars are closing due to the dwindling customer numbers. Yeah, it feels like you won't get the same sympathy as pubs have managed excellently. Now, everyone talks about pubs saying, oh, it's not fair, is it, with all the taxes and the minimum wage? Oh, they're poor. The pubs are the soul, the throbbing heart of a society. No one's going to say that about the old gentlemen's relish clubs. Gentlemen's mayonnaise clubs. I don't know what they do there. I've never been to one. I'm way too northern to part with money for what you can very much see for free if you try harder. Right, here we go. He's divine. Oh, no, she was divine, says hi-ho Kermit. Heathcliff, starring Cliff Richard and Kate Bush. No. As Kathy, singing Windy Heights. Pardon, spelling mistake. I'm dyslexic. Oh, Withering, I say, yeah. Deer stalkers. Naked crime cracking. Yep. It's been a fun day of puns. I'm not sure I'd want to do that. Let's go and solve a murder in the nude. I suppose you wonder why I gathered you all in this room. No, we know why you guys in here. You set the old man. Not a salmon. Oh, by the way, shout out to I know Joodles had brought a friend. Someone whom's been suffering with a bit of the old sciatica. If you're watching, it's a shame you're not in the chat, but I have done that. I've had that too. My sciatic nerve, it was pinched by my piriformis. Literally, a muscle called that means pear-shaped, and it literally went pear-shaped because I had that. What you got to do is some nerve flossing. It's all about stretching. There is that thing where you can get a tennis ball in your glute. What you do is you buy your own tennis ball. Don't turn up to your local tennis club and just try and hope someone aims one in. No, not going to work. Not good. And not to be, that's why I got banned from Wimbledon, actually. But it's all about the stretching. All about the stretching. I developed a lovely stretch when I have some back problems, when I get that tight tingle in the glute, which involves sitting down and putting your foot on the TV cabinet, which is just peak. What more do you want? Right, what's going on in the chat? Starkers, dear Starkers. Sorry, Martin, I missed it. I got it and laughed, says Joodles. Well, it's all very well for you. You're not in the middle of trying to do a show. And barely am I. Thanks, Jude. All right, you're enjoying ourselves. So, what have we got left to do? We should do, because we've got quite a busy thing coming up. Let's get some of this on.
Here are the plugs where you can see Steve and Helen all this week.
Things you can do. But, plugs. On Wednesday, I'll be on GB News at 11 p.m. reviewing the news, probably doing Warwich. We're doing Warwich. On Thursday, almost daily, 12 p.m, the midday streaming spectacular, where I, Stephen Allen, and it's a day what more do you want, talk about the news. On Friday, almost daily ? Because, I don't know, we'll see. In theory, yes. And Martin actually says in the chat, no keyboard. Well, that's exactly my point. I'm planning on only having the keyboard on Fridays. Otherwise, I will just be dicking around playing chords all the time. In fact, I can show you. I'll show you. I was going to save this for Friday because we're not quite ready. But the keyboard will be plugged in. Oh, it's not loaded up on a hotkey yet. But I've got a camera that will... Hang on. Pointing. There it is. You'll see the keyboard. Keyboard cam will be set up on Friday if we get around to doing it, which we probably will. And then Friday night, I'm off to Belper. Belper, I hardly knew her. But that's somewhere in Derbyshire, I believe. I grew up around that kind of area, so I'm off doing a gig there. And this is a tight turnaround. My turnaround is going to be tight because I'm headlining Belper. Then I've got to get back down from Belper, get a whiff of sleep, and then head into GB News on Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to review the news. And then I go to West Bridgeford, which is about 3 minutes away from Belper. For the love of... just bad planning, man. Then Sunday, I'll be on GB News, 7 p.m, Free Speech Nation, probably talking about Iran. I don't know. Probably just a good guess, innit? Some solid, absolute solid guess there. Oh, Chris just turned up. Have I missed much? Only the whole flipping show. Sat like a pillock. I missed you, says Joodles. All right. Fridays are done, hang on, according to the plan. Because of chords. Chris, poo, nakedness, pigs, and Wayne Rooney. That is what you missed. Most of those things in one story, actually. PM, Friday, keyboard. That's what I'm just thinking. Otherwise, I'll just be like, all the flipping time. You know what I'm like. I can't keep my hands off the darn thing. So we'll do that on Friday. I'll catch up later, says Chris, and sack your tour manager. Yeah, it's me. So, well, I got the 2 gigs which made sense, and I could have stayed up there and visited extended family because I'm from the neck of the woods. But when I get the chance to come and review newspapers, I take it. So I'm just flipping, gonna look tired. You think I look tired today? Imagine what I look like on the telly on Saturday. So, thank you very much for partaking in whatever we've done. Oh, there was another couple of things, wasn't there? Here we go. This was, Proper Memes said we should cover this. The Jim Carrey clone conspiracy is just double talk, says award organizer. Basically, Jim Carrey turns up to a thing, and he don't look like that anymore. He looks like that. All right? He's gone, he less Jim Carrey. There's a chance that's Bill Maher turning up having a laugh, isn't it? But that original picture, it's not like Ace Ventura picture. People online were comparing a picture from like 2006 with 2026, saying he looks different. It's 20 years, man. I fall for the same. I listened to Pulp's year 2000, whatever it's called, Disco 2000, and think, how is that an old song? Of course it is. Back then, we didn't even know that Y2K was not going to end the world. So a long time. He looks different because he's 20 years older. And everyone's saying it's not him, it's a body double, it doesn't look like him at all. He's just rich and he's had work done. How is it not that? He's got saggy face from being 20 years older and enough money to kind of get nips and tucks. I've thought about myself. If I ever have enough money, I would just get nips. No tucks. And then I wouldn't have to leave the house. Lovely. Have a look. Alan says, I ran from Iran. All right. Let's read some of these. I ran from Iran news headlines. You missed it, yeah. That's clearly what we talked about. Man gets older, hashtag not news. Exactly. Poor old Jim Carrey. And everyone says, like the rubber-faced comedian, when he had enough elastin in his skin, when he was all made of collagen and elastin, oh, he's rubber-faced. Now he's, how old is he? How flipping old is he? Jim Carrey is built on blah, 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 blah. Made a rare public appearance in Paris. Oh, 64. An age so old, the Beatles considered it worthy of a milestone in life. Which is weird. It wasn't retirement age, but they went, I guess like it's easy to rhyme with 4, isn't it? And they meant when I'm 65, but they probably scanned through it and like jive, don't fit, thrive, nah. Where do we get to? Jim Carrey is turning into Tarantino. Have a look. Yeah, but he's still very much doing his all righty then lower half. I've got sympathy for this guy. I think he's, yeah. Hi-Ho Kermit says, I look the same as 20 years ago. Course you do. All right. Yeah, I think I look the same as 20 years ago as well, but I'm not watching this live stream. Christ. Carrie's 64. Yeah. And Y2K was hilarious, says Martin. Well, you say that now. With the benefit of hindsight, you can laugh about it. But we thought we were all going to die. Kids these days don't know what it was like. Imagine. Oh, the world runs on computers, and there is an error in the code of computers. Oh, when's that going to trigger? Next year. See you kids later, meeting at 1. All right, go and have some fun. Oh, it's 2 minutes time. Go and have some fun. We're basically done anyway. You're not going to miss much here. Bye, Joodles. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed anything of this show, and I realise it's not necessarily been my finest work, I've enjoyed it, so I will be giving some money on Ko-fi to me. But you could do the same. Ko-fi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen, where you could throw some pounds in my general direction, and it helps fund. I need a new stand for the keyboard cam, the black and white secret keyboard cam. Where's it go? That's Wall Watch. No, this one. This one. Down here. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! And look in the background, the guitar case. Sweet mercy, this show is turning into an actual... Stay there. Oh, I'll put one of these in. I didn't realise. I didn't realise there's a chance that this... Yeah, put that somewhere. Put that. Yeah? Now who's actual doing some proper music on here? Thank you very much for watching, and Ko-fi.com/@Mr. Stephen Allen. I bought Bluetooth earbuds. I think you should be. I should be getting the Ko-fi. I don't blame you at all. People were buying PCI cards for their computers that would protect them, because we thought we were going to die. Kids these days, they don't know they're born. And I grew up in an era when we were writing to Jim will fix it. Do you know the close shaves I've had? Maybe I should get a Ko-fi for a new mic. I've looked into it. Martin did send me details of the mic. I can't help, I'm afraid. I think there is a chance, because what you've got in the mic, if you look at the... hang on. Bear with. Martin, this is the wrong one. They talk about the blood moon. I think we already did the joke about lady parts. But Martin sent me a picture of his microphone. And you've got low output. Because it's a condenser mic. You need the charge plate. I think you just might be not getting full voltage charge on the plates. Here's my guess, right? Because it's USB powered, what you get, 5 volts coming out of a USB. Somehow the circuitry has to turn that into 48 volts if it's like phantom power. Maybe it's not. But you need to get the charge between the two plates. That's how condenser mics work, right? If you move to charge plates, the distance between the two plates impacts the voltage. And that's how it works. They're way better than a dynamic mic, of course. So I think you might be losing some charge across there. Yeah. I don't know why you might just want to go dynamic. Yeah, it depends what you're doing, what work you're doing. To be fair, the world has gone mad since Y2K. Yeah, I think I sold test equipment for Y2K, so it was a scam. Nice to know you've been scamming people. Your letter was only the start of it. You're right. Thankfully, it was the end of it as well. Otherwise, that makes sense. Says Martin. Yeah, I know. I know. It looks like I don't know what I'm talking about. However, I do. That was from the blues song that we did. Right, thank you very much for watching. We'll do another one on Thursday, definitely, probably on Friday as well. And till next time, bye.